All right. Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to stream. Monday jump scare. Monday jump scare. Not only jump scared you, jump scared me too. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing today? How's the energy? How's the vibe? I know, Monday. What is going on Monday? Wait, Monday. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? What's the energy? What's the vibe? Sleepy Monday is super true. It is a sleepy Monday. I'm kind of just always sleepy. I feel like I apologize every stream for being tired, but you know, no difference in this case. Hello. Oh, you're sick now. I hate that for you. Think your partner's ADHD possessed me today? Did it? Hello. Hello. Yes, I hope you're all doing well today. As the stream title, forced me out of my procrastination for this stream. There you go. Good. Work. Do something. Productivity jump scare. Let me grab a plushie, because I don't want to sit at this desk alone right now. Hi, hello. But as the stream title says, we are continuing the skeleton, right? We're going to be talking about the appendicular skeleton today, by comparison to the axial skeleton that we did last time. So we're doing the rest of the skeleton. A previous stream we talked about sort of the center of the skeleton, and this time we are doing the rest of it. So that is what we are doing today. Tired all weekend, even now I want to take a nap. You and me both. Alright. before we get started today, if you didn't know, our mission at Wing Canvas is to make sure that art education is easily accessible to everyone. So join us for free live stream lessons every week, and we're not just a YouTube channel. We are an online school of illustration, helping art nerds find their passion. We're an online school of illustration helping art nerds turn their passion into income. I'm so sorry, this one's new. If you're an art nerd, be sure to check the links to our Discord where you can find our notes and artwork from streams, as well as art challenges and other resources to help you improve your art. And I also want to personally thank our incredible Patreon and YouTube members for supporting our mission. YouTube members can chat with our instructors and see video drafts before they are released, and Patreon members can level up their artwork with classes, Q&A and live critiques, and personal support like draw-overs from instructors. That one was messy. I'm sorry, y'all. This one's real different. I apologize. But yes. We're jumping straight into it today. No submissions this time, because this is kind of like a special funny Monday stream, so not quite like the others. So we're going to pop directly into the lesson portion for today, because this one is going to take a bit longer, just like last time, because this is a whole skeleton. So this one's gonna take a little bit of time because I want to walk you through it from beginning to end. It's gonna be a long lesson. It's gonna be longer for sure. I don't want it to take too long because then it gets boring, but I want it to be... I want to not only teach you guys the parts of the skeleton, but I want to make sure that you guys have the tools that I had to memorize the parts as well, because the way that my teacher taught it to me was in a way where I was like, whoa, I understand now. You know? Not only like I understand, but also like, oh, this makes sense, you know? So I want to make sure that you guys get that too. Alright. Oh, I missed a previous message from you, Quinn. Oh, donuts, someone starts to get ready. When I was like, I should shower before I go out, I realized I don't fold my laundry for a week, so I dumped it on my bed and reminded myself to do that. And I was like, I have to clean my dirty laundry, so I did that. Took a shower, and I was like, I gotta take my meds. And then I was like, oh shoot, I gotta go to the pharmacy and pick up my meds. I think you just found a train of, like, things that you needed to remember. I think that's what was going on. Alright. The appendicular... skeleton. Alright, so appendicular skeleton, named as such because appendicular means appendage, right? The appendages of the body, which are the arms and legs, right? Like I said, like last time, the axial skeleton, it's on the axis. It is the center of the body, right? It is on the medial axis, but this time it's appendicular, so it is our appendages, right? These are the parts of the skeleton that come in pairs. Right? Last time I said the axial skeleton do not come in pairs. It's kind of just one of each bone, but in this case, with the appendicular skeleton, it is all the parts of the skeleton that actually come in pairs. Alright, so like I said, it is our arms and legs. You'll actually find that when I teach this one, you'll find that the structure for both of these sets of bones are really, really similar. The structure for your arms mimics the structure for your legs, and vice versa as well. So it makes it easier to remember both. Oh, and then I was like, I have to go to ATM and get cash for my meds. I went to the deli and got cash, I got my meds. I couldn't decide what donuts I want, so I got 4. There you go! Now you have more than one donut, though. feel like I'm forgetting something. Your laundry. Feel like I still got back from a week-long vacation about a week and a half ago and still haven't unpacked. Oy. Welcome back from making lunch. Yeah, Josh and Faye use Krita. I use Photoshop. Iggy uses CSP. It's different for all of us. Okay, I also copy and pasted over the skeleton from last time, just so, because we're going to be finishing this guy when we add on our new thingies. I'm just going to move it up like this. So then I can... Yeah. Cool. Lower that. Okay. Our 5-minute skeleton is back. This was more than 5 minutes. Jesse's quickest skeleton to date. Listen, man, drawing skeletons are hard. Want to know how I can get comfortable from switching mediums and drawing on paper to digital? It's been tricky. Genuinely, it's practice. Like, I can't give you any other advice than you just gotta do it a bunch. Because it's gonna be tricky at first. Like, there's nothing that you can avoid with that. It's gonna be really hard for a bit. So it is genuinely just, you gotta do it more. Okay. We're gonna start with the arms. Alright? Because realistically, when you know one, you know the other. But we're gonna start with the arms. Okay, so... I'm going to draw one whole section of a few bones right here first, so that this kind of just makes this part of the explanation a little bit easier. Before anybody's like, oh, I never use the symmetry tool because it's cheating, because somebody said it last time. First of all, it's not cheating. Second of all, I'm not gonna sit here and try and perfect every part of this skeleton and waste a bunch of your time. So that's why I'm using the symmetry tool, because it is the same on both sides. What reference am I using? I'm using an anatomical diagram off to the side. You pick up the symmetry tool again. I guess I have to! Before somebody yells at me and I'm like, listen, bro. Trying these past few days and watching you guys draw digitally makes me yearn to do the same. Sure, yeah. I mean, I started as a traditional artist. I was not always a digital artist. I've been doing it for a decade now, but before that, yeah, no, I was completely traditional. I didn't touch digital. I was one of the annoying people as well who was like, digital's not real art. And then I tried it and then I realized my hubris. So, no, it's fun. I recommend digital art. It's fun. What do you mean you use tools to draw? What do you mean? But yes, this first part of the skeleton right here. I'm gonna have some ladles. This first part of the skeleton here. This, I can actually label these right here. It's called the clavicle. And this is called the scapula. And what we're going to do is we are going to color code these notes off to the side, because this is called the shoulder girdle. Alright. So the clavicle and the scapula both make up a thing called the shoulder girdle, and the shoulder girdle is a structure that holds your arms in place. Okay, so this is what holds your arms in place, right? This is the structure that makes your arms attached to the body. The clavicle attaches to your sternum, between your sternum and your sternum and your rib cage, that kind of thing, right? And then the scapula glides along the back of your rib cage. So the scapula, technically, actually, this should not be like that. It should be like this. But yes, the scapula, right, it glides along the back of your rib cage. You can feel it. So if you push your shoulders back, everybody can do this right now. If you push your shoulders back and try and touch your back, you'll sort of feel a hard part of your back move around. If you grab one arm, put your hand on your back, and then move the other arm, you can feel your rib cage moving around. You can feel your clavicle. Sorry, not your clavicle, you can feel your scapula. On the other hand, if you take your hands and you touch the area right between your neck and your shoulders, you'll be able to feel your clavicle, right? That is a bone that kind of wraps around your neck, right? That is your clavicle. And you notice they wrap around your entire back. You'll actually be able to feel a really hard portion on the top of your shoulder as well. That's called the acromion process. We're not going to label that, but that's the place where your clavicle and your scapula connect. That's right here, right? So the shoulder girdle is the structure that holds your arms in place. You want to think of it like the metal rings of a chandelier, right? You know how you have like chandelier and you got a bunch of stuff hanging off of like those rings of the chandelier? That initial metal ring, that is the shoulder girdle. You can think of your arms as the ornaments hanging off of that metal ring, right? Fun fact, we have bones. Skeletons are inside us. Could you imagine? That's pretty scary, Quinn. Why would you bring that up in my stream? I'm kidding, you're fine. That's really scary. But yes, clavicle, scapula. Those are our two big things right now. And this is called the shoulder girdle. Shiver me timbers. Okay. See, unlike the axial skeleton, the appendicular, I have no problem with the appendicular skeleton. It's really easy to draw. There's nothing wrong with me drawing the appendicular skeleton because I have no issue with it just in general. It's really easy. You'll find that you're gonna end up drawing it a lot more anyway. Oh, I didn't... Whoops, I should have done this before. It's okay. There are gonna be some things that I explain or that I write in about or that I talk about with the skeleton that I'm not gonna write down because I'm just like, I'm too lazy. So like, if you end up wanting to take your own notes, that's what I tell my own mentorship students, exclamation point classes. I tell my own mentorship students, I'm like, I will write down everything you need. If you want to take additional notes, that's on you, dude. Or you can just watch back the VOD in this case. Yeah, this one's easy peasy. Okay. I should relabel scapula. Just so then doesn't get too confusing. I can't label the acromion process. Let's do this. This is scapula. Okay. This one is our humerus, also known as our upper arm. Right? This is no extra explanation needed. It's the humerus, it's our upper arm. But humerus is not the thing that I'm going to explain a little bit more of. This little section right here is what I'm going to explain more of. The humerus is attached to the scapula using something called a ball and socket joint. The thing With that, what it looks like is you have a little socket, and you have a little ball like this, and it connects in. It's almost like if you take your fist and you make a cup with your other hand, you kind of move your fist around in the cup of your hand. That is what this joint looks like, ball and socket. And the little cup part of this joint is called a fossa. Right? You've got a bunch of different fossa on your body. The really prominent ones are the ones for your arms, the ones for your legs, right? But you've got a lot of those kinds of connectors. In fact, along your entire spine, if you've never seen how your spinal cords connect, this I could have talked about last stream, but I didn't because it's more prominent this one. There are these funny little shapes that are along each one of your spinal pieces. They kind of look like this, if I remember correctly. And when you go up and down your spine, they all sort of connect together like this, with like your cartilage and your stuff in between. And these are fossa as well. And they kind of connect together like little Lego pieces, using these strange little suction cup shaped bone pieces. Pretty cool. Yeah, you can see ball and socket joints in dolls, 100%. Dolls, I think, gave me a better understanding of the skeleton because depending on what part of the doll you are working with, you have to put in a different kind of joint because you want it to mimic the body as best as possible. And not every single joint on the body is ball and socket. Technically, the two joints that doll artists use are ball and socket and hinge. Those are the only two that they stick with. Technically, there are more than that. Like, I think there are, like, there's, like, 7 or something different kinds of, like, joints that are within the body, but obviously, doll artists, that's a lot to mimic, so no need to do that. But yes. Okay. Let's keep going from there. Doing these bones all in one go. Because there are 2 here. Might want to make this a little bit longer. Yeah. Alright. This one is our ulna. And this one is our radius. This is our forearm. Alright. So these 2 next parts of the arm are called the radius and the ulna. Alright. The way that we were told... Oh, hi, Starverse. Welcome in. Anything move like a ball and socket if you were hard enough? No. There's some doll artists out there that does the skeleton as the base of the doll. Some people do. Like, as just like a... Some more artistic people, what they will do is they'll do the skeleton. I've seen some people, like, sculpt the skeleton, then they sculpt on the muscles, then they sculpt on the thing, but those are like art dolls, they're not like actual moving dolls. But yeah. It's untwisted when your palm is facing up, yes. So the, what do you call it? Okay, let me do Monday. The forearm. That is what the radius and ulna is part of. The way that we're gonna get into the legs as well at some point. The way that you remember which bone is facing on the medial side, the inner side of the body, it's the ulna and the tibia, which we will get to. There's a university here in Canada called U of T. So they're like, just remember U of T and you'll remember that the ulna and the tibia are on the inside of the body. So that was how we were told to remember. But the radius and ulna cross over each other when we twist our arm. It is hilarious to watch. It is the strangest thing to ever, right? It is super funny to watch your arm sort of cross over itself, because you're like, why do our bones do that? Why? Don't know. But yes, when you twist your arm over, so this pose that I'm going to be working with is called the anatomical pose, which means it is facing directly forward, both palms facing up, feet forward, and planted on the ground, right? It is a very specific pose that makes it the anatomical pose or not. And in this case, if they are uncrossed, it is your palms facing up. It is supination. So that means that your bones are uncrossed. So if your palms are facing downwards, your bones are twisting, dude. There you go. So, the radius and ulna are only untwisted when our palms are facing upwards, but they remain twisted when we put our arms down. Pretty funky, pretty fascinating. Just remember to sup. Yeah, supination. So supination is when your palms are facing upwards. Pronation is when your palms are facing downwards. The way you remember it, if you want to hold a bowl of soup, you gotta put your palm upwards, right? And then pronation is just the other one. So you just gotta remember the other word. But, yeah, bones. Who else is now feeling up their arm to feel the bones? Just me. Watch this. You're gonna bend your arm for me, okay? And you're gonna put your fingers, or you're gonna put your hand directly on where the protruding part of your elbow is, right? You can feel that little bony part of your elbow. That's called the olecranon. You're gonna keep your hand there, and you're gonna extend your arm so it's flat again. Notice how the olecranon kind of disappears, right? And it becomes sort of with the same structure as the rest of your arm, right? Bend it again, you'll feel it pop out. Unbend your arm, you'll feel it flatten out. Olecranon. It starts with an O. Olecranon. The olecranon is part of your ulna. The way that your elbow is built, this is called a hinge joint. The way that your elbow is built is it essentially built like this. So this is like your humerus, and then your ulna has a little piece of bone like this that goes in between the humerus like this. So it's like a hinge, so it can only move back and forth. The olecranon is what stops your arm from overextending in the other way, because your humerus has a little notch in it that matches perfectly with a little notch that is at the edge of the ulna. So, when you pop out your elbow, you feel that olecranon because it's no longer in the little notch. But if you straighten your arm again, the olecranon goes back into that notch and your arm is straight, and it is now one with the rest of the puzzle piece that are the bones inside your body. There you go. That's how I never forgot what the olecranon was, is because she got us to like, you know, handle different parts of our body and feel what's going on. It's a good way to learn. It's a really good way to learn. Olecranon. Alright. Next part. Ironically, this is actually the part that I know the least about, because there's a lot of bones here, and I kind of forget them all the time. And we're not gonna spend time on me drawing this correctly, because I'm lazy. It's the part that I knew the least about because there were a lot of bones and I didn't really want to memorize all of them. And I had them memorized for my exam, and then I kind of forgot all of them the second that I left that university room. But it's okay. As long as I generally know it's here, that's the important part. And I know what they're all called, so that's also the important part, I think. I should have... Let's just... Nobody saw a thing. Oh. There we go. Okay. And then... These... Let's move the labels to this side. These are the carpals. And the metacarpals. Oh, I should have these on the outside actually, so it doesn't interfere. So I should have them on this side, never mind. Carpals. Metacarpals. And phalanges. There's like 40 hand bones. It's not 40. It's a good amount, though. This is the wrist and hand. Alright, the wrist and the hand. These are made up of the carpals, the metacarpals, and the phalanges. Alright, the carpals, your wrist. Alright? If you feel the QR code for that color, you mean the hex code? It's 158A6F. There you go. It is not the QR code. Yeah, the hex. The QR codes are younger than hex codes. What are you talking about? I'm kidding. I'm sorry. It's the carpals. They're inventing a tunnel. But yes, you feel the carpals. The carpals are your wrist, right? You move your wrist around. You can kind of feel all those little bones moving around. The metacarpals, that's in your palm, right? You can feel the ends of the metacarpals at your knuckles, right? You can feel where your metacarpals and your phalanges connect at your knuckles, and I just spoiled it for you, the phalanges. All of the knuckles of your fingers, those are where each bone of the phalange connects. And you also notice that the phalanges, the bone feels very prominent at the top of your finger, not so much on the bottom. The majority of your muscle in your fingers is at the underside of your fingers, so that's why if you draw your fingers, that's why I say the bean method works really well, because it gives you a better idea of where those bones protrude, okay? The wrist moves by having all the carpals glide over one another. So this is one of those weird joints that are not ball and socket but can be replaced with a ball and socket on a doll, right? This is I don't remember I think it's a saddle joint. I could be wrong. But these are joints that sort of just glide over top of each other. It's a bunch of tiny little bones that sort of glide over one another by comparison to it being a ball and socket, right? It's a little less freedom of movement by comparison to, like, say, the arms or the legs. There are limits to where we can move our wrist, but it is a much wider range of movement than a hinge joint. But regardless, right? Carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. You've got these fun little joints going on down there. And this is the shoulder girdle, right? This is what makes up the entire sort of structure of our shoulders, right? Of our arm bones, okay? And you'll notice a pattern when we get to the pelvic girdle, which is our legs. Hang on, it's getting hot in this room. Oh my god. Calm down, please. Alright. Bones. Okay, this diagram did not draw the pelvis too well. Let me fix that then. That's why wrists can be injured so easily. Partially, yes. I think I mentioned it last stream. If you'll notice, there are more popular parts of the body that you can break, by comparison to others, right? And the main reason is its range of motion. Whatever has the most range of motion, or whatever is being moved around the most, has a higher likelihood of breaking. So your arms, the bottoms of your legs, your fingers, really popular places to break because they have such a wide range of motion and because you're moving them all the time. So the more that part of the body moves, the easier it is to break. So like it is going to be really easy for you to break a finger. It's going to be really easier for you to break your radius or your ulna, right? It's going to be real hard for you to break your femur. If you break that, you're in trouble. Because that's like, that is, that part of the body specifically is stronger than concrete. So, whoa, if you broke that. To avoid injury, don't move ever. I mean, think of it like a car. Hello? Everyone refresh. Oh my god. Hang on, I'll ping the Discord too. Give me a sec. Ugh! Oh, never mind. It's back. It don't say I'm back. It says I am exclusively not back. Hiya. Oh, green. Green? Hang on. Hello? Oh, why did this open? Stop that. I think... It says I'm not back. YouTube still says that my streaming health is poor. Am I alive? Hello? Hello? I think we're back. Refresh. Crocodile. And I see it say crocodile. Okay. I see crocodile. You can hear me? Can we hear me? Okay. Alright. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay. Hello. Okay. We lost a lot of time from that. Let me just draw in the rest of the skeleton. And then we can just talk about it once that's done with. Alright? I've returned, yeah. YouTube lag. It's not even YouTube, bro. It's me. I don't know what's going on, like, lately with my connection. It's just with the house. I don't know what's going on. It sucks, dude. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw on the rest of the skeleton. It'll just make it a lot easier. And then we will add on the labels afterwards. This is on the wrong layer. Jabberwocky. Actually, everybody type 1 in chat when you hear this. Canadian Winter Curse. See, this is the first year that this is happening to me. I genuinely don't know. Okay, there we go. Yeah, not bad at all. Perfect. Might need to replace the wires on your straight, maybe. I don't know, man. My Wi-Fi's been bad lately. It's been really not nice to me. Alright. Oh, these are a bit long. Actually, no, these are a bit short here. Okay. No, these are actually a little bit long too. Let's shorten these. Yeah, you probably got delay. Yeah, you might want to. Yeah, if you haven't refreshed already, please refresh. All right, cool. So this, I'm just gonna label them all now. This right here is the pelvis, which means that this is the pelvic girdle. right? The pelvic girdle, right? It is exactly the same as our shoulder girdle, okay? The only difference is that we don't have, like, a bunch of different bones holding this in place. I'm looking at it now. I drew this super wrong. There we go. The pelvic girdle, right? It is the same as the arms. It's like the thing that holds the chandelier together, right? We've got our little bone structure here, and that is what is holding the chandelier together, right? The pelvic girdle. It's 2 bones, and then it holds the rest of the structure as if it's a chandelier. Exact same structure, right? These big guys right here, these are the femur, which is our thigh bone. No explanation needed for that. It's the thigh bone, right? Nothing too special when it comes to that, right? The femur is connected to the pelvis with the exact same type of, what do you call it? The exact same type of connection that the arm has, right? It is a ball and socket joint. A ball and socket joint, right? It is the exact same type of joint. The difference is that the femur fossa, the pelvic fossa, those are super, super deep into the body by comparison to the arm ones, right? So the arms, your arms are a lot more likely to break because that connection is a lot less stable. But on the other hand, your arms have a much wider range of motion by comparison to your legs because this fossa is more deep by comparison to this one. This one's almost like you have a ball gliding on like a plate or like a shallow bowl, and this one is like a deep soup bowl or a mug, and then you're putting like a marshmallow in it, right? So the thigh bone is really, really deep in there. You have a wide range of motion, but not as wide as your arms. Wondering why do our legs move together then out like the top part of where the... I'm not too sure what that means, Space Runner. What parts of the female body's bones are different from those of the male? You want to know something crazy? There really isn't any. That's not even a lie. The female bones are pretty much the same as dude bones. They just, some might be bigger, some might be small. I'm pretty sure, like, a woman's pelvis is wider, but that's about it. Like, our pelvic bones are wider for birth, but that's about it. In terms of where things are placed, it is exactly the same. There is no difference in how many bones we have. There's no difference in where they're placed. There's no difference in that kind of thing. It is exactly the same in that way. And it's like to say that like, oh, our bone sizes are different, that's kind of everybody as well. Like the only thing that's like consistent, quote unquote, is that our pelvis is a bit wider in women by comparison to men. But even then, like some men have really wide pelvises as well. Like it's not the same per 2 people. Even the size, yeah, pretty much. Because the thing that changes with women versus men, it's not bones, it's muscle. It's muscle and it's fat placement. Right? The main thing that you as an artist are going to pay attention to is the hip bone, and that's it. Like everything, like our rib cage is about the same, our arms are the same, our legs are the same. The things that change, that like drastically, quote unquote, is our fat displacement and our muscle displacement. That's genuinely it. Because our bones are like... False. Women's bones contain eldritch horrors filled with the rage of the fallen. You're so right. But no, genuinely, like, there really is not that much of a difference. This is the patella. Yeah, no problem. There's also a myth that, like, men have less rib bones than women do, and it's not true. Sometimes we have... This is just a person per person thing, has nothing to do with gender. Sometimes we have less floating ribs than other people, but on average, we have the same amount of ribs, no matter what. This is the knee bone. All right, the knee bone keeps your legs from overextending, okay? You've definitely played with your patella before. If you are ever just kind of sitting on the ground and you've been pushing around your knee bone and you can kind of feel it like wobbling on the top of your legs, right? That's your patella. That's what that tiny little bone is. And this little bone that's put in place there is what makes sure that your calf bones, your tibia, your fibula, those don't overextend in the wrong direction, right? So if you have a broken patella, you're done for, right? You really gotta get that fixed. Fun fact for you as well, if you've ever played with your patella, which I'm almost certain you have, right? You ever played with your patella, you can kind of feel it. You ever wonder why it jiggles around so much? By comparison to the olecranon of your elbow, which stays in place, right? It is directly attached to your ulna. It's a part of your ulna, right? By comparison to your patella is really, really wobbly. It moves everywhere, right? And the big reason with that is because your patella is not attached to your bones. It's not attached to your bones by more bones. It's attached to your bones by ligaments. Ligaments and muscle. It is a floating bone on top of the rest of your body. It has zero connection on top of your bone itself. How come my patella isn't jiggly? It's probably because you're sitting in a chair. You need to have it completely relaxed. Like, you've got to be sitting flat on the ground, like legs supported by the ground, that kind of thing, right? Because again, your patella, it's being controlled by ligaments. You can feel it. If you've ever been to the doctor and the doctor takes the little hammer and like dink dink on a certain part underneath your knee, on one part, they're testing your ligaments to make sure that it's working right. Because it's a muscle that if you pull it or push it, it will cause your leg to move. Right? So they're making sure that works, because if your leg doesn't respond to that, that means you got something wrong with your leg. And that's bad. You gotta get that fixed. Tibia and the fibula. This is our calf bones. By comparison to the radius and ulna, the tibia and the fibula have a much smaller range of movement. So no, the tibia and fibula do not cross over each other when you rotate. They have a slight bit of rotation, but they cannot rotate like our arms can, right? So these bones are really not flexible. The way that you remember which one is the tibia and the fibula, my prof told me this. She was just like, every single time you say tibia, you say tibia. And every time you say fibula, you say fibula. And you remember which one is which. Which, you know, she's right. I have never forgotten it. So it's the tibia is the bigger one, right? And the fibula is the smaller one. Okay. And the tibia is also on the outside. The tibia is on the inside. The fibula is on the outside, right? And again, the Canadian university called U of T. It's the ulna and the tibia that are on the medial side, the inner side of the body. The ulna and the tibia, the U of T, right? That's how we were told to remember it. Again, Canadian college, Canadian university, right? Tibia is also hollow? I don't think that's true. Yeah, U of T. Yeah. Say it with Korn's voice? Which one?
You gotta remember that the tibia is the bigger one. You say it's the tibia and that's the fibula, you know?
I can't. I don't have a very high range doing his voice. The shin bone is hollow? The shin bone is hollow? Which one's the shin bone? That's the fibula then. Oh, the shaft of the tibia is a hollow tube, although it does have a slightly triangular shape with the tibial crest being the prominent ridge of the front. Fractures can occur at the top of the shin bone of the bone. So it is! I didn't know that! Well, there you go. I suppose it is hollow. You learn something new every day. I guess that's why the tibia breaks a lot more frequently. Okay, that makes sense. Well, there you go. Perhaps that's something I forgot completely. Interesting. Okay. Well, now I know. So yeah, checks out. Yeah, that I completely forgot. Yeah. Okay, the fibula and the tibula. Fibula and the tibia, right? Those are your calf bones. Tibia is bigger, fibula is smaller. All right. Last home stretch here. These are your tarsals. No, these are the metatarsal. And the phalanges. Okay, your tarsals, your metatarsals, and your phalanges. These are the foot bones. Right? Your foot bones. You have your tarsals, your metatarsals, and your phalanges. They are structured the exact same. Foot and ankle bones. They are structured exactly the same as the wrist and the hand. Right? It is a bunch of little bones that can kind of glide over each other, and then you've got the things in your midfoot, your metatarsals, and then your phalanges, which are called the same on your hands and your toes. Your fingers and your toes are just phalange bones. Okay? Right? So your foot and ankle bones, they are structured the exact same as your arms. Right? And you notice, now that we have done the entire skeleton, the structure of your shoulder girdle is pretty much exactly the same as the structure as your pelvic girdle, okay? Your shoulder girdle, we start off with a girdle structure. Then we go into the big individual bones, which goes into two smaller bones, which then goes into a bunch of little bones. Okay? The farther out you go into your extremities, the smaller and smaller your bones get and the more of you that they've got, right? And they're pretty much the exact same structure starting from the shoulder girdle down. Right? The farther, the more to your extremities you get, they pretty much follow the exact same structure. They're just called different things. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that fun? But yippee hooray! Appendicular skeleton, you've done it. Good job. We have labeled the entire thing. And now you know it. How fun! How cool, how epic. How silly, how pristine. Thursday I get to find out whether my bones are broken. Oh no, I hope not. Now you know it forever. So long as you memorize it, now you know it forever. Oh dear. You're welcome to taking all the credit. Oh, okay. And now we've done this part of the stream. I will say this is a really simplified version of the skeleton. This is the part of the skeleton that, like, you will need as an artist, not necessarily as a scientist. I did learn it from my scientific lecture, but there are, like, sections of the skeleton where I'm like, you don't really need that, you know? So, some of them I got rid of, some of them I was like, it's okay, we don't really need to talk about that, you know? It's like, because I'm like, realistically, you're not gonna need that. Drawing it, like, you're not gonna need to know the name of the specific ankle tarsal. You don't need to know the name of, like, each section of the femur, right? That's not useful to you. What's useful is where it goes and how it's structured and where it is, right? And it's like, it's nice to know. I know some parts still, but like in general, you know it's the femur and where the femur goes and how it's attached and that kind of thing. So your foot is making weird clicky noises. Hi, Naomi, welcome in. It's been a while. Quit exercise. That's what hurt my foot, bestie. That's also what broke my back, fun fact. Now, just like the other bone stream, I'm gonna do whatever I want today, because it's Monday. You broke it? Well, I didn't break it. I had a pinched nerve between my L4 and my L5 of my lumbar. And it made it really hard to operate for, like, a good, 2 years. It was, so, if you were here last stream, remember we have our lumbar vertebrae. There are 5 different pieces of our lumbar. So, between my 4th and 5th lumbar pieces, they were pinching together and nerves got between 2 parts of the bone. So that's what made, my whole body decide to eat itself alive. There was a section in 2021 where I just didn't stream for, 3 months. And that's why. Have fun, Jaw. Now here's the real problem is I don't know what to do. I'm like, what do I do for the appendicular skeleton specifically? Because this is the axial skeleton, everybody loves the axial skeleton because you get to see ribs. But I'm like, what the heck do I do for arms? I got my Achilles ripped while training. It's never the same. Ugh, I hate that. Awkward moment when you try to exercise good for you and you hurt. Well, here's the thing too, is that you have to exercise in the correct way or else you're just gonna hurt yourself. Which is that's rough too. It's especially if you're not used to exercising, that's hard. I don't really want to draw a lich though. Skeleton wolf, I don't think that works for today. It does not, no, because that's a wolf and we are talking about people. Overtraining? Yeah. Hi, Novida, welcome in. What do I'm sorry, I just keep on, scribbling and then, deleting it, and then re-scribbling and then re-deleting it. It's I have things I want to draw, but I can't because they're secret. A X-ray flashlight thingy on their arm, leg, I don't know. I'm so, Secret drawings, yeah. I know a lot of secrets. I can't publicly draw them yet. I'm ugh. I mean, I could be annoying and draw Selic again, but I'm I wouldn't know what to do. Do I have an idea for myself then? Yeah, man. Go for it. I love secrets. I also love secrets, but that also means that I can't do it on, a public stream. Can I draw a shark fox? That's not a person, bestie. Not the secret keeper. I love keeping secrets. It makes me feel like a trusted individual. I'm sorry. I just this is the problem, is that I don't plan, and then here we are. Hang on, I'm gonna look through my phone to see if I can find anything that inspires me. It's so funny. It does suck keeping something to yourself. It depends on what it is, though. Yeah, it depends. The demo was just you drawing the skeleton you already drew, throw people off. That's hilarious, but no. I kind of have an idea. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do it. Didn't know you guys do lessons on weekdays as well. This is like the first. I'm pretty sure we're testing stream times. And also I got super sick and wasn't able to do this stream earlier, so here I am. Okay, I have an idea. I just like... Get well soon. Oh no, this wasn't Halloween. Like these streams were scheduled in October, and I was sick for October, or they were scheduled for the end of October and the beginning of November, and I was sick for like all of November. So we're good now, but it was a struggle at the time. Yeah, but I appreciate it. Hi, welcome in. Glad you're feeling better. Thanks! I don't know what I caught. The doctor said it was some kind of virus, and that was rough, you know. I don't think I'm allowed to read that out loud. What's funny now? Oh my god. Okay. It's so funny seeing the difference between, like, my more confident sketches versus my unconfident ones, because this one I think I'm very clearly not super confident with where I'm putting stuff, but I'm kind of doing it anyway. It creates a kind of interesting, different look. Used all my functioning brain cells this morning. I haven't used any brain cells yet, but to be fair, I don't think I started today with any. It's so funny. I'm like drawing in the legs. I'm not going to be keeping the legs. It's like instinct. It is genuinely pure instinct to want to draw in the legs. Like the muscles and whatever. And here I am, about to get rid of them. Hello. Welcome back. I'm on break, so I'm on autopilot. I haven't been in school for a couple of years now, so I haven't had, like, breaks, per se, for a really long time. Thanks, Naomi. Have a good one. Cool. So my friend draws really muscular bodies and great detailed anatomy just to cover it up with clothes afterwards. That's me. Yeah, because especially, like, when you draw enough, like you're taught, like, oh, it's like draw from shapes and use these shapes and blah, 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 right? When you draw enough, like, you kind of skip a lot of those steps and go straight into a lot of the structure, just straight off the bat. And, like, you kind of memorize doing that. So then, like, it just becomes muscle memory by that point. You're like, oh, yeah, I just gotta draw in this part, and this part, and this part, and we're good. Kind of thing, right? It's hard, because this character does not. Ah! Okay. It's okay. I have a solution. I can come up with a solution. I know certain face shapes have different ratios. There are specific face height width ratio for an average heart-shaped face? Nope. Nope. It's observation. It is all observation. There is, like, proportions for the average face. Like, that is what the proportions are that we know. But for, like, oh, is there any for, like, this specific face shape? Nope. Like, I'm sure somebody has come up with it, but thinking exclusively in numbers will, like, destroy the creativity that comes with drawing a person. So it's a lot better just to work from observation and to sort of, like, observe from there, in my opinion. Probably a wider body for a heart-shaped face. Also not true. Body type does not amount to shapes of the face. Her Schaefer ghostly actress wanted to give her a heart-shaped face. Sure. Then look up other people with heart-shaped faces, and what you're going to do is you're going to observe what their faces look like, and you're going to practice something called likeness. And likeness is a really difficult part of art, because that's when you start to sort of throw away a lot of the theory that you've been taught, because you're just kind of like, okay, I need to make this kind of look the way that I want. Likeness is super hard, yeah. Like, I hate likeness. It's one of my biggest struggles. Drop the last tutorial. Oh, the episode is live now. Being undead. Being cursed for a while by something and coming back as a Dampier.
Yeah, I don't know how Faye does it. Faye was a portrait artist, so she's been doing that for a long time. I'm like, I can do likeness if they are cartoony. The second that you tell me like, oh, they've got to be realistic, I panic and I die. Like, if I'm doing proper portrait work, likeness is my weakest skill point. But if I am just like working like with cartoons, if I am working with some kind of like something that is like semi-realistic, I can do likeness perfectly fine. It is genuinely just when it is realistic, and that's when it becomes an issue. Because then I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. The structure of this is hard because I'm not used to doing this like this. It's okay. What we do is we ignore it for now and then go back when I've warmed up by drawing the other easy stuff. The guy who smokes 12 packs a day. Yeah, this is Selic. My partner's character. The Dampier Warlock, which I can say now. Not a spoiler anymore. Well, I guess it is for people who haven't seen it, but no, that's public now. Need to actually have money for a change and pay someone to draw my human character because I just can't get it right. Not giving up, I'd like to have some legitimate art of her one day. Yeah, for sure. I love getting D&D character commissions. I have one that I'm working on right now. Somebody's Kenku. They're some of my favorites. It's fun to see how other people envision their characters. Yeah, no, Selic isn't mine, but I did design him. Quinn. Watch the show, Quinn! Yeah, you have to. You gotta. They're just about to hit double digits, so you gotta... before they do. Working on a project at the moment, done almost everything. My character's face, due to being an angle I'm not too good at. I'm unsure how to draw her face the way I want her to look. We have a face angle video. Got a couple of those. Oh, my little PNG YouTuber? Yeah. I definitely have it. Everything's a spoiler. That's fine. I mean... if you're not planning on watching either, it doesn't matter. Yeah, there it is. I'm like, I know we have it. I know I did a face angles one. I'm pretty sure Faye did one too. Unless I wasn't face angles and I was just heads in general. Line work is so amazing. Thank you. I'm trying to get better at, trying to get back into doing messier line art because I just think it looks nicer. Oh, Emmy, I mean, Picrew, you don't have to draw anything. Other people have already drawn it for you. It's kind of like a character dress-up thing. No, Faye did a workshop with XP Pen on difficult head angles, but I think only Patrons have access? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah, no, you're not drawing anything, don't worry. The Picrew is like, it's like what they said, it's like a paper doll thing. You're not really, like... What do you call it? You're not drawing anything. They've kind of got it all done up for you. Put my gift to Patreon to good use. There you go. Perfect. How much time do we got? Oh, we got half an hour. Yeah, we got plenty of time. Picrew, my beloved. Would you believe me if I said I used Picrew once and missed drawing my own characters, so I never used it again? Honestly, I said, like, would you believe me? That feels really in character for me. Never mind. That's that's like a soul read on myself. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. It was like me as a child. I never enjoyed coloring books because I didn't want to just color in the pictures. I wanted to draw the pictures, so I never really had coloring books either. It's like, yep, that seems really me. Actually, that's a pretty heavy soul read. It's like a recent soul read that murdered me. I saw... It's like if you're online enough, you know the guy. He does like the... One of his videos popped up on YouTube Shorts and he was like, "Hi, this is what your Spotify Wrapped says about you." Right? I don't use Spotify, so none of it applied to me, and none of the albums were on my Spotify on my YouTube Music Wrapped, which is what I use. However, one of them was Epic the Musical, which my partner has been obsessed with as of late. And he said, like, what was it? He was like, "You having Epic the Musical on your Spotify playlist tells me that you would not survive if you did not have your noise-canceling headphones with you one day." Which, like, I said that to my partner, and I was like, I think you've been soul-read. And he replies back to me, he goes, "I think he has my address, too. Like, I hate you." Yeah. It was so funny. I was like... He's like, "Something tells me you would not be able to function if you did not have your noise-canceling headphones with you in public." It's so funny. Does your partner have a favorite saga? Yeah. I don't really listen to Epic the Musical, so let me see. Whatever the most recent one was, that one was one of his favorites, if not his most favorite. The one that had the 600 Men Strike, whichever one that one was in, that one he likes a lot. I'm not a big musical person, so Epic the Musical didn't really speak to me, but I do really like Scylla. That's the one that I listen to. That's the only one that I listen to regularly. Yeah, whichever one has the 600 Men Strike one, that's the one that he really likes, because he's been following Jorge for a really long time, So he's been looking at the previews a lot, and he really wanted, he really liked Dangerous, because he was super excited for Dangerous, I remember. Vengeance Saga, yeah, no, because he's been wanting the Vengeance Saga for a really long time. He will fight you on that if he learns that you said L take to that. Because no, he really likes Dangerous. He really likes the 600 Men one. I think it's just called 600 Men Strike. I genuinely don't remember. What's the other one? The one where it's like, get in the water. That one. He likes that one too. It was so disappointing, the whole saga. That's a hot take. I know a lot of people love this saga. Why? What's your favorite? I'll get him to soul redo. I'll see what he says about it. We crashed. I was so bad. Oi! These are crazy takes. I have zero opinion because I don't care. I don't really like musicals as a whole, usually, so I'm like, these are not opinions that affect me, realistically. I think the only song that I really like and listen to regularly is Scylla. Slept with yogurt in my bed, now there's black and teal bits all over her. What did you do? What is in your bed? Thunder, Underworld, and Circe are the best so far. Oh, his second favorite is the Thunder Saga. He had that on repeat so much. Oh, Tattoo, I see. You could probably wash him. Peeled my sleep, I think. I see. Epic the Musical Sagas. 9 sagas, what are they? Troy, Cyclops, Ocean, Circe, Underworld, Thunder, Wisdom, Vengeance. And now we're waiting on Ithaca. Yeah, no, he really liked Thunder. I think his favorite is Vengeance, because he's just been waiting for a lot of the Vengeance songs for a really long time. Don't bear hug plushie until tattoos are fully healed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can toss that one in the wash. Yeah, these are, I have zero opinions, so whatever you're thinking, that's up to you, bro. Those are your emotions? Musicals? Just not my thing. You see what I'm doing now? Yeah. I'm like, I was like, what am I gonna do for this? Alright, let's do, why not? What's a musical you enjoyed the most then, if you don't like many of them? Like, none. When I say I don't really enjoy a lot of musicals, I mean I listen to them and I'm like, cool! And then I never listen to them again. Like, it's not like I hear a musical and I'm like, turn it off! I'm like, I listen to a musical and I'm like, that's music! Because I was never a theater kid. I don't really like... I was, like, vocally I was trained to have a theater voice, but I didn't really care for theater music often. It was, like, I'm the kind of person, I'm a very musical person in general, but the way that I absorb music is very much like, oh, I want to be able to listen to this song I think I learned why I don't tend to like musical music is it's because it's very geared towards what the like story is of the musical, and like if I can't recontextualize the song really well, then I don't really enjoy listening to it. And like that includes like a lot of just things that include musicals. And it's not even like just classical like theater musicals. I can't even listen to like you know, like recent shows that have had like just musical bits in them. Can't listen to those either, because I'm just like I can't recontextualize it well. It honestly goes the same for video game music. It's very rare I will listen to a video game OST outside of the game itself. Even if I like the game. I've never been a show opening person, never been never like an anime opening person. I have a lot of friends who are anime OP people. I can't. Hamilton, never listened to it all the way through. Every song that I've heard, it was not my vibe. I was just like, that's a really hot take too. I'm like, I listen to the music and I'm like, this is fine. It's not like the kind of music where I sit there and I'm like, this is amazing, and it's like my fit. Quinn, Toby Fox is the exception. Undertale music is the one exception where like it's so much of it was so good that I'm like, I can't not listen to this. Like, this is so good. Anime OPs on my main playlist. Have you ever heard the Ori and the Blind Forest soundtrack? I've played Ori and the Blind Forest, and I've played Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Great soundtrack. Don't listen to it outside the game. I want lyrics to be able to relate to. It doesn't even have to have lyrics. I listen to a lot of lyricless songs. I just can't when it comes to a lot of just video game songs. Like, it's rare that I'll just listen to it. It's hard. It's hard to explain too. Like, I can't. I couldn't tell you why. I just not that kind of person, I guess. Top 0.5 Toby listeners, where we at? Genuinely. Hi, Joe. Welcome in. I do like some of the Toby Fox music. I will die on the hill of the song from Undertale that I think is like my favorite one ever is Ruins. Ruins is just so good. Like, I can't again, I can't explain to you why I like it so much. It's just something about the piano and the combination of like the different instruments is just so nice. I'm like, ugh, disgusting. I love it. Ruins is really good. Of course, I love all the music. I think there's a lot of really, really good ones. Fallen, I think, has become very, very popular recently, or Fell Down, or something like that. I don't remember the name of it. Cuphead and Celeste. Have I seen Whiplash? I have not. I have seen the end of Whiplash and a bunch of clips. Falling Down, that's it. Marcus Warner? Nope. No clue. Minecraft music? I do! There's a little bit of Minecraft music that I listen to sleep. Like, again, it's like I won't just listen to it normally. It's like, I think I listen to Dry Hands to sleep. What's happening to this poor person? I don't know. Selic? I just like drawing him with bones. There's just something fun about drawing him with bones. I couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's just because he's a bony character. Yeah, it's the perspective. It's because we're looking down at him like this. So it's like the legs look a little bit smaller because we're kind of looking down on top of what's going on here. This leg definitely feels a little short. Like, based on the bones, that what's going on is like it should be like this. So it's like the whole leg is like that. And then it's like this one is like this. So it's like a little bit larger, but it's like... Yeah. Like, realistically, what would be happening is, like, we have the rest of the leg. Oh, actually, yeah, the muscle would be... Yeah, the muscle would be over here. It's hard to do, like, perspective when there's no muscle going on. Because there's nothing to show you, hey, this is what's going on, because there's no form, realistically, that we can use. You kind of just have to, like... You kind of just have to be like, well, use your imagination, you know? Because if it was like, if I was drawing this fully with muscle, it would be like this leg, the knee is pointing towards us, and then you can see the top of the calf, and it goes like this. It's squashed because of, what do you call it? Help! What's it called? Foreshortening? It's squashed because of foreshortening. The bones have form for sure, but the bones are like... The more that you... Like, bones don't have meat on them, is the thing. And it's a lot easier to show off, like, the perspective of something when you have more anchor points. And in the case of, like, muscles have a lot of stopping points that you can show this kind of, like, foreshortening structure on a lot easier. Bones don't have all of those foreshortening structure pieces, so you kind of just have to rely and hope on the idea of people being able to see it foreshortened, right? Like a calf muscle, you've got these muscles back here, and you've got the ankle that you can work with right here, the knee structure right here. Bones, you don't really have that, so it's a lot harder to show off forms on a bone by comparison to a muscular structure. So that's why I'm like, I'll add these back in. Let's add in these kind of like ghostly forms of muscle back in here. Why not? See, I mean, yeah. It's complicated. I'm also too tired today to care. Is it imperfect? Sure! I don't care too much right now. The important thing, because this is a bone lesson, is that the bones are correct. That is what I'm making sure is okay. Hello, welcome in. No, kiddo, we didn't change our schedule. We're experimenting with different times, so I am streaming on Monday right now. Nothing has changed. Things will still happen on Saturdays and Sundays. I am just now here right now. Like, I'm not getting quite the right color that I want right now. We'll go with this for now, because that's a bit closer. Naps are so underrated. I genuinely don't take a lot of naps. I think I said this last stream. I was don't think I've taken a nap in a really long time. It's like, because if I take a nap during the day, then my night schedule is gonna be ruined. So I'm like, I can't take the chance. I will say that having a stream in the middle of the day has really flip-flopped the schedule that I was gonna have today, so I gotta rush for a lot of things between stream and other things, but it's okay. If I don't take a nap, I feel horrible. I have a lot of friends who are like that too, yeah. But I'm like, I'm not. My favorite video game art style? No clue. I think every game has its own unique way of showing off what it wants to portray. So I'm like, my favorite game styles are ones where they just have an aesthetic that I think matches whatever story they're hoping to tell. And that's a bunch of games like that. There's not a single game that I can think of where I'm like, I like this one more than others. It's dependent, I think. I think a lot of games are really pretty, and I think the idea of it being hyper-realistic means better is stupid. Because I like a lot of low-poly games that I think are beautiful. And everything in between, I think, is fun as well. You just gotta use it right. That's all. I like creativity. That's my opinion. I stay up too late to not take naps during the day. I do my best to try and have an even sleep schedule. Please play mouthwashing. I haven't had time! Sorry. Okay. It's a 3-hour game. What do I want to jump? Listen, man. I want to play the game. I think I'm the one that told Quinn about it. No, I've been wanting to play it. I like psychological horror. I just have not had the time. 3 hours is a lot of time, Quinn. Kiddo, why did you watch a mouthwashing playthrough? See, now you're in trouble, because I know who you are. Oh, you knew the studio before mouthwashing came in. Okay. I was like, either I told you or you had already known about it and you asked me to play it. I'm like, I couldn't remember what the order was. Do I have any favorite psychological horror media? That's hard. There was a game that was banned that I really liked. I think it was... Omori's really good. I think it was Viet. It was either Viet or Taiwanese. Oh my god. It was a first-person horror. It was about, like... the pressures of family and needing to do well. And, like, it starts with a D, I think. I know Jacksepticeye played it. Really, really good game. Oh my god. I'll never remember. It was, like, really, really Asian-based. Beautiful visuals, really fun story. Oh, Omori's a great time. Comes playing horror games, watching them is easier for me. I can play them, because it's hard to actually get me scared. I will fall for every jump scare, but, like, I will never be, like, I'll be, like, laughing the whole time. Because I get jump scared really easily, but to actually get me scared is really difficult. I will never remember the name. I'll never remember it. Oh my god. Ancient game that I cannot talk about. Though I see the title, and yes, I remember when it was new. Do not speak the ancient texts to me. I was there when they were written. No, it's overrated. Sorry. It was, that game specifically was a sign of the times. I don't think it's aged well. I think it's kind of boring. Like, it was a classic when it came out because of shock value, but now as an adult, I'm like, this game kind of sucks. And I'm like, maybe that's me, but, you know. It's just a little overrated in my opinion. I'm doing my best to remember this game. Hang on. What is it called, bro? Asian horror game. What was it called? Devotion! It was called Devotion. Yeah. Great game. That was a psychological. It's really, really good. Love that game. Devotion was really, really good. I liked that one a lot. Oh my god. What else did I like? I liked a lot. I've liked a lot of games. It's hard to number them all. I like a lot of games. Oh, there we go. I'm looking for this color I should use. Stream's almost over, by the way. We got 5 minutes. I'm just trying to get in some more of this. Mike's Archive is a good podcast, but just relative to that. Ever play PS1 style horror? Yeah, some of it is good. A lot of it is overdone, I think. Some of it is like... I understand, like, it's like that we want to yearn for the aesthetic again. I think that, like, if it's done well, it is done really, really well. But I find that a lot of people use it nowadays, and it's just, it's very half and half, whether it's good or not. So I'm very neutral on the style. It's one of those things where it's like, it's revolutionary when people started to use it again, and it was like a really big, like, oh, kind of thing when it was first being used, but now that it's getting used a lot, it's a lot less, like, the shock value has gone down, so it's very like, oh, okay, it's another one of these, kind of thing. You know what I mean? There was another game I really liked when it first came out. I still really like it to this day. I really liked the Faith trilogy. That one is an Atari-styled horror game. I like that one a lot. The Faith series is really, really good. I am a sucker for that kind of horror. Cult horror is like a really big love of mine. And like Faith is no different. The kind of like eldritch kind of thing is really fun to me. I think I was saying, I had my Discord status set as Mortis for the longest time. Actually, the other night I was talking with my friends, we were talking about, what do you call it? We're talking about analog horror again, because a new episode of Local 58 just came out, and, like, everyone in here who likes horror, if you haven't watched the grandfather of analog horror, you should, because it's amazing. But, like, because analog horror is so popular now, I'm saying right now, okay, like, Local 58, Gemini Home Entertainment, those things walked so the Walton Files could run, I'm just saying. They're so good, dude, like... Love Local 58, Gemini Home Entertainment, amazing. You missed the conversation we had about Epic the Musical, kiddo, where I kind of just said, like, I don't really care for musicals, but my partner's really into it. Analog horror scared me more than anything else. Yeah, analog is fun. I really, really like analog horror. I love listening to horror stories. There is one story that I listened to, because very few can actually scare me. There's one that I listened to recently that I'd already listened to, but I re-listened to it, and you know that it's properly scary because listening to it the second time, I was no less dreadful than the first. I felt no less dread than I did the first time I listened to it, so you know it's good. It was like, it's so hard to listen to. I was like, I want to look over my shoulder. No, amazing story. It's an older one. The Hidden Webpage. It's really, really good. It's one of those stories where the whole time you're super confused and that's what's scaring you until you get to the very end, and then you're still confused, but at least that you can stop having the need to look over your shoulder. Really, really good one. Yeah, it's horror based on analog media, so it's like VHSs and recorded tapes and stuff like that. Analog horror made from analog media, analog television and stuff like that. For instance, Local 58 is about like a TV station that's like haunted. It's really, really good. After I listened to Local 58 for the first time, I think I had Rejoice as my Discord status for months. His Throne. In the most recent Local 58, they had it was such a good line, dude. It was, I know it's forged, give me a second. It had such a good line. It was like, predators do not know the difference between prey and accomplice. Or, no, it was predators cannot tell the difference between prey and accomplice. What a good line, dude. What a crazy line. I was like, are you kidding me? That's so cool. I was like, as someone who loves writing, I was floored. I was like, what a good line. Predators cannot tell the difference between prey and accomplice. I think that's so cool. I was like, what? What a hard thing to say, dude. Ugh. Start kid musicals. I'm not a musical person. That's what I was saying earlier, it's like I recognize the craft and I understand it, but I'm not a theater kid, so it's like musical music just doesn't resonate with me. I read creepypasta a lot back in the day. There are some that, like... A lot of them are, like, nostalgic to me now. If you really want, like, a story that I guess is still branded, quote-unquote, as creepypasta that I really liked, I liked, what do you call it? Promise we're almost done. I think it was called, Tales from a Search and Rescue Officer. I really liked that one. That one is still one of my favorite, quote-unquote, classic creepypasta to this day. All the, like, hyper famous ones, I'm like, they're kind of cringe nowadays. like some of them are fun just to kind of think about and look back on, but, like, realistically, they're pretty cringe. Because the writing was kind of bad, and, like, the characters are really shallow, and it's, like, it's hard to take seriously. Feels very much like 14-year-old writes horror, but... Yeah, no, 100%. Like, it's funny. Like, looking back on it now, it's funny. But, like, I don't think of it as scary anymore. It's like, a little bit cringe, but in, like, the fun way, you know? Cool. Lighting. Alright, friends. That's 4 o'clock. Thank you all so much for joining today. Hey, Monday stream. Pretty cool. If you don't know too much about who we are, don't know what's going on here, popped in for the first time, hi. WayneCampus.com. We are a school of illustration. You can stop by some of the classes that we offer. Winter term is going to be coming up. I just realized one of those shading thing I want to change. Winter terms are going to be coming up when we come back in January. Our classes are just finishing up right now for the fall term, so we are not really offering those as of right now, but we have our spots open for winter term when we come back, so be sure to check those out. I am one of the instructors. Every single one of your streamers is an instructor, so if you ever want to take a class with one of us, hey, now's your chance. This file that you see in front of you will be available on our Discord for you to download. !Discord. Come hang out, come say hi. Join up, say hi to fellow art nerds that are around on the server. If you want working files, though, you're going to have to become a Patreon member, and a YouTube member, where you can also get perks like discounts on classes, actual classes themselves, and early recordings of our YouTube videos. Pretty cool, pretty epic, so make sure you check that out. This Saturday, who do you have? This Saturday, you guys have... Oh, actually not Saturday. Wednesday night, you guys have Josh. Josh is going to be finishing up his arcane study for you guys. And then we do not have streams again until the 28th, when you got me once again, and we will be drawing busy backgrounds together. Pretty cool, pretty epic. So I guess that's why you guys have like 2 extra streams this week, is because we don't have them on this coming Saturday and Sunday. But yes, thank you all so much for joining me today. And I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Au revoir. Bye-bye.